Yes guys, welcome down to Carter's Golf. Thank you very much for joining me. If you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. Got a huge competition coming up in association with Bushnell, their brand new Wingman speakers. So hit that subscribe button and you're already going to be in the draw for the challenge in the next couple of weeks or so. Today's video though is going to help you with your slice. So if you're a slicer of the golf ball, for the right-handed golfer, if you hit the ball from left, starting left of target and moving from left to right with a weaker club face, so with a short, high ball flight, high spinny ball flight, this tip is very much for you. So we're going to be talking about how weak the club face gets to the top of the backswing and how we can fix it. So first of all, getting straight into it, we're going to be looking at the face at the top of the backswing. And what I see a lot of is golfers starting to, we call it kind of panning the hands around. So for right-handed golfers, that left hand starts to rotate too soon into the backswing. So if you look at the toe of the club, it's kind of pointing over towards the right as I look back at it. So one of the key things we've got to be able to try and do is control that club face very early on in the swing, making sure that if we've got full control of a neutral club face, then we've got more chance of being neutral at the top of the backswing. So just to talk you through what an open club face looks like to start with. So first of all, if I take it back to the takeaway, that would be neutral, toe of the club pointing up to the sky, or toe of the club pointing slightly to the left as I look at it. I would class it as neutral. An open club face is the club face pointing more round to the right hand side. So maybe the face pointing up to the sky, or the toe of the club pointing more off towards the right as you look at it there. Once you're in that position, it encourages the wrist angle to be cupped. Now, cupped means the wrist has gone into this sort of angle, so the knuckles have maybe worked their way towards the forearm. This again, really weak position to be in, because as you get to the top of the backswing, what is an open club face? And you see again, you see my wrist angle very cupped at the top. You see the club face pointing straight across in that direction there, and you see the toe of the club pointing straight down to the ground. What we see from this position then, wide open face, club face pointing to the right of the target, you'll generally then start to see the ball start right, and you'll very rarely hit the ball A, as far as you want, or B, you'll even make you think you're going to get there, and you always kind of leave it short, because what that club face is doing is adding loft. So for example, I'm 160 yards away, I've got a 9-iron in my hand. If I add loft to this club face, I'm effectively making it into a pitching wedge or a gap wedge, which therefore is going to go shorter, isn't it? So if I start to rotate the face, have the face open at the top of the backswing, and even with a good neutral swing path on the way down, that ball is going to really pop off high to the right, and it's going to finish very short. So if I look at where that ball's landing, I've got 160 to the flag. It hasn't made the front edge of the green, so I probably hit it around about 120, lost a load of yardage, and it's just frustrating. Okay, also the quality of the ball striking, you're definitely going to feel a lot more miss hits from the amount of face rotation, because even when you know the club face is open during the swing, you're going to want to start to manipulate the face on the way back down, and in doing so you're going to invariably hit some poor strikes. So the fix for this, we've got to get this club face, let's exaggerate it to start with. Let's get this club face closed at the takeaway. Let's get the face pointing straight down to the ground on the way back, club face to the ground, and then you'll notice a very key change in the wrist angle, the lead wrist. So we've gone from that cupped position where we said the knuckles were coming round towards the forearm, we've now got a much straighter angle between the forearm and the hand. Club face points down towards the ground, and as you start to rotate up to the top of the backswing, you now see a very different position from what we had before. You see the club face at the top, the face points more to the sky, and the toe of the club is not pointing down to the ground anymore, it's pointing more across. Okay, so huge importance on knowing what the club face should look like on takeaway and at the top of the backswing. If we get the top of the backswing correct, there's a good chance that the downswing is going to be correct as well. So kind of going through that fix, making sure that the club face points to the ground, the lead wrist, the left wrist in my case, is a lot straighter. We're going to use that rotation to the top of the backswing. I'm going to check the club face at the top, make sure the face is pointing to the sky. So then as I deliver that club back down, I've got a straight left wrist, I've got my hands ahead of the ball. What we're talking earlier on about the open club face, once we've got the face open here, toe of the club down, how that starts to look at impact is super weak. Hands behind the ball, hands behind the club face, and you can kind of see that loft of the 9-iron has now turned into your pitching wedge, it's turned into your sand wedge or your gap wedge, and we've started to lose a lot of distance. So I want you to really try to focus on getting the club face pointing more to the ground on the way back, noting that where the lead wrist is pointing. As you get to the top of the backswing, checking where the club face is at the top. I would much rather see my golfers have a stronger club face, a more closed club face than the weaker one. If I'm gonna miss this target, I wanna hit the ball 160 yards. I wanna hit it, might go a little bit left occasionally because of the closed face or the strong face, but it's still a better feeling at impact, having the hands ahead of the ball rather than that really weak face that gives off a weak looking ball flight, a very kind of, I don't really like this terminology, but kind of a flicky impact position where we've got loads of loft and we've lost loads of distance. So if you can be in control of the club face during the takeaway and top of the backswing, we can then be in more control on the way down. If you're a golfer that hits a slice, so we were talking earlier on about this tip is all about a slicer. So let's say we go open face at the top, and then the club starts to work out to in. So the club starts to work away from the body and away from the ball. So that's the out, and then from here as it comes into the ball, it starts to work in. So that is an out to in swing path. Add that with an open club face and we've got even more loft again. So if we do have that path, if you do have an out to in swing path, let's get the ball going on the line of the swing, okay? If that golf swing is going out to in, it's technically working left of the target, isn't it? So let's get the club face and the swing path working together to hit a straight ball. Now, granted, it's going left. However, it's going the distance you want it to go. There's two ways you can get around that. You can obviously then start working on the swing path, or you could aim right. It depends how much golf you play to what sort of fixes you can realistically go to the driving range and do. If you want the fix for that swing path, we've got to be getting the club face neutral here and neutral at the top of the backswing, and the feeling now is the butt of the club, rather than working away from the body, is working down towards the thigh. So we get this, we're working the arms back down into your takeaway position. So if I get my takeaway here, that's also going to be my checkpoint for my downswing. So I've got the face pointing to the ground, top of the backswing, I've got my face pointing more towards the sky. Then on the downswing, I'm back into position, and then I turn through. As I turn, my hands are ahead of the ball. The swing path is a lot straighter relative to the target, and my follow through as well. I get the club shaft pointing down towards the target as well, which is absolutely vital. So the swing path is absolutely key, but I think first of all, before we start fiddling with swing path too much, let's get the face and the path working together so the ball is going where the swing is going, okay? Too many golfers swing it from out to in and hit the ball right. If you're gonna swing it from out to in, hit the ball left first, then you can look at adapting your swing path, or like I say, even just adapting your aim. And that's a key one. If you're a recreational golfer that plays once a week, you're not going to be able to go and change your swing path at the weekend. Okay, the golf swing will not change. However, you can start to change your club face. You can start to put the club face into the correct position and therefore work it with the swing to get a consistent shot shape, and then you can just manipulate alignment to that. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tip. Please do hit the like button, follow me on my social media platforms, do hit that subscribe button to be entered into the brand new Bushnell Wingman Speaker competition. Full details are going to come on a video very, very shortly, so go and check that out if you haven't already done so, or if you're watching this before or after, whatever. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.